to another episode of At the Table. Joe host, Sean C. And this is just where we just come to the table and just bring up topics or anything that we feeling that's going through our mind for the day. And today I have a very interesting situation, a very interesting thing that came to my head. Um, you know, um, and it's really a personal thing, but I always like to engage with the people out there and see how the people feel about certain topics. I mean, that's what this is all about. It's just really about us, learning from each other. I don't claim to be an expert by any means, and I never would portray that in any particular thing. You know what I mean? But it's all about the dialogue and opening up the discussion. So I would love people to chime in on this topic. So I was thinking today, a lot of things going on in my life right at this moment, and one of those things that is going on is relationship stuff. I mean, I'm out here in these streets. I'm out here dating still. You know what I mean? And I'm like, man, I've been out here. I've been, out here dating for a few years now, and you would think that, I know women always say that it's such a difficult thing to find a great guy. Um, but it's really difficult for us too when we about the real thing. Of course, I didn't date quite a few women at this particular point. I mean, when I say date, I mean just going out on dates. Nothing doesn't necessarily mean we had sexual encounters or anything like that. But you know, but it hit me. Sometimes you have to evaluate yourself, and I don't think a lot of us take a lot of time to actually evaluate ourselves because throughout the dating process, again, I've been dating for quite some time now, and I want to count, specific number. I don't know that, but it have to be over at least 60 or 70 dates that I've been on in the last maybe 2 or 3 years, 2.5 years or so since I've been out here in these streets as a single guy. You feel me? But it started making me think a little bit about what's my issues because again, obviously, I'm not gonna say obviously, but I don't have a problem finding a female. Okay, let me just put that point out there. That's not a problem for me at all. The problem is, just finding that connection. I guess I'm 40 years old now, so obviously the type of connection that I'm looking for is much more different than what it may have been when I was, let's say 25. You feel me? Just looking for something a little more serious, a little more deeper, and you start realizing the things that are more important to you in life. And so you look for those qualities in the person that you're dealing with. And but again, a lot of this is kind of evaluating yourself. And I've met a lot of nice women out there, a lot of really good women. So I don't have any negativity or any bad things to put out there on that situation. But I start getting a common feedback from women saying that I'm like a runner. And basically, what they saying by that is that when they get close to me, and they start showing me the love, and they really start falling for me, I start pushing away, and I start wondering to myself, maybe they own to something. I denied it for quite some time, but I thought, maybe they are on to something here. And so, you have to start evaluating yourself and start thinking, where do these things come from? Because obviously, who we are is basically a product of our life, and what we've done, where we've come from, experience that we've have had in our lives. So I start thinking about what has made me come to those type this kind of feeling where I'm out here, I'm trying to find that thing. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying I want someone special. I want to find a magical connection. I'll put in the work and really go hard and heavy when I'm dealing with somebody and make them really start liking me. And the second that they really start falling for me, all of a sudden I'm not feeling them like that anymore, or maybe it's a block or something. And so I start thinking about, maybe how did I get like this? And obviously, again, a lot of this stuff is based on a lot of your past experiences. I think I come to the conclusion personally that one of my biggest issues that I have is that I think that I have suffered from um, the feeling of, let's say, having that woman that was like super duper down for you. And I know this may sound probably egotistical or maybe unfair in a lot of ways to a lot of people, but I can't help, I guess, but to think sometimes when I think about some of my, my past relationships, obviously the ones that meant the most and hurted the most. You think about stuff like how down was they when the chips was down? Like how did those things break? I start scratching my head and I start wondering what were the cause of those things breaking up apart. Yeah, I'm not saying I was a perfect guy. Yeah, I did things that that I'm not proud of per se. I done things that let's say A lot of us do, and I'm not saying that it's right or wrong, or any of that. I'm not justifying any of it. But again, I've always been a guy who took care of business, always held it down like a boss in my households, and I always did the main stuff that you think a woman would be really, really proud of. So it's always mind-boggling to me to why was it easy for women just to run away from, our situation when I did things that I'm looking around and I'm saying, damn, like every dude and every person I know in situation have done way worse shit than I done. But they woman still rocking out with them. You feel me? So I think that I'm scarred by that in a lot of ways. And because of that, I think that what happens is that when I get in a space when I'm dealing with somebody and maybe things aren't going right for me in my life or something, and maybe I have an expectation of how I feel a woman's supposed to ride hard for me at that time. And if I don't see that, it kind of makes me shut down. And I think that stems from, again, past relationships and past situations where you felt like the person that you was dealing with, that you did all that you could have done in regards to what a man should, what women say they want from a man anyway, responsible, taking care of bills, cook, clean, does everything. You feel me? He's a versatile guy. And on top of that, keeps himself in great shape and still looking youthful out here in these streets. You feel me? I mean, I don't know what else more than a motherfucker would want. But you feel me? So, so it's, you have to be honest about yourself. And sometimes you have to dissect yourself and find out what's the issues from you. And so I've come to the realization that that's part of my issues. So I guess what I'm trying to ask you guys out there for some help and open up some communication and some dialogue out there with everybody is, do you feel that there's an issue with me feeling that, you know, is this something wrong because I look at it like saying, okay, well, Tom, Dick, and Harry woman rides for them through all kind of just craziness, but they there. Like I almost admire a lot of people I know, they women, because they didn't been ran up and down, but they still loyal and they still down for them. And I got nothing but love for that because again, I'm not justifying it in any way, women. But I mean, men, we do some dumb shit sometimes. You feel me? But it's honorable to have a woman to see you through all of that. You feel me? And so I'm just trying to figure out, am I wrong for having this problem that I look too much at what everybody else got going on, and I feel like, man, I do more or than what they do for their women. So why the woman I get don't ever ride hard like that for me? It can be the easiest thing to make her feel like, oh, this ain't right or something like that. Like, how is it that it's so easy for her to leave a guy like myself when I'm watching all these other dudes run mockeries and run amok around their joints with their women, and they still rocking with them. And I do respect they women for that because that just shows a lot about them. I'm not saying that they doormats or anything. I mean, obviously they in love, and so maybe I'm missing something here. So anyway, my question out there, I just wanted to share that with the world and start some dialogue with everybody, see what y'all thought about the situation. I guess the main question that we focusing on is it, do you yourself, that's not just about me, it's about all of us, do you yourself ever make judgments on how you feel you should be treated based on what you see around you from other relationships that's near you or close to you, or that you see, whatever, TV, whatever. So I guess that's the biggest question. Does that same thing apply to you, or am I just this only weird person in the world that feels like this in the world? So anyway, I want to open up that dialogue. Hit me up, leave your comments, let me know what you think about this subject, and I'm certainly looking to hearing your response. So I'm going to sign off for that. But now, leave you at that. Sean C., I'm out of here at the table. Catch you soon. Later.